Yo. Yo, what it do? Yo, what's up, everybody? What it do, Fragrance Familia? It's your boy jonnyscentss here, back with another live. Man, how's everybody doing today? I'm gonna go ahead and give it a few minutes, let some people roll in. Anybody who wants to roll in and say what's up? What's up? Let's go ahead and get some vibes going. And man, I'm excited. We've come a long time coming. You know, it's been a wild ride, but here we are. And if you made it today, shout out to you. If you made it today, you got this. If you ever struggling and you thinking, man, do I got this? Always think,
I got this. I got this.
You got this. We got this. What's up, Fragrance Familia? What is up? What is up? It's your boy jonnyscentss here, and we gonna talk about smell goods. You trying to smell good out here? Shout out to everybody out here smelling good. Let's go ahead and turn up. Let's go ahead and put in a little tunes. Some tunes that I made with my buddy. And let's see what we talking. I'll play. Pass from the bay, like Frito Lay. But she gon' do what I say. What's up, Fragrance Familia? What is up? It's your boy jonnyscentss here. We're live with another live. What you guys got on today? Let me know. We gonna give it a few little more minutes. We gonna talk about my scent of the day. Banger for the winter, for the autumn, for those transitional seasons. Right now we're dealing with a little bit colder weather. We're talking about, you know, in the morning, 30s, mid 30s. Afternoon, we're thankfully getting into the 50s, but still chilly weather. So this did what it had to do today. What's up, Fragrance Familia? What's up? What you got on today? What's your scent of the day? We're going to talk about date night fragrances. We're going to talk about what you should be wearing this spring when you out on a date. There's a lot of different dates out here. We got, you know, a nice little date, a little in the picnic, where the leaves are coming out. Yo, is anybody getting pollen? Is anybody getting pollen out there? Let me know if you're getting any pollen out here, because today my nose was being a little extra stuffy.
He's on a lot of ketamine.
But yeah, spring 2026. Jolly day. Got they lane. They like some stains. What a man, hey. Beat you with it. We just smoke it. And in the wood, that's Wood Gang. Hey, shout out to Wood Gang. Stuff that wood. Smell good. Then you better have the man. fuck it up. Hey. What's up, Fragrance Familia? What is up? Turning up on hump day, hump day. Business source. That's what it does. She that yours. She the main course. Get to the bag. For dope. Locked up in a can, no sir. We out here trying to do these lives. That was crazy. That was crazy. What is up, Fragrance Familia? What is up? It's your boy jonnyscentss here, back with another live. Yes sir, yes sir. We are turning up. It is Wednesday, February 25th. Little chilly outside, not too chilly. You know what I mean? You could put on a nice quarter zip on type of weather, and you should be Gucci. But alright, gang, let's go ahead and do this, man. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Let's go ahead and talk about some quick notes and talk about what we got going on today. Today's live. So here in a short second, I'm going to talk about my scent of the day, which is this bad Larry right here. Good old Bvlgari Man in Black Parfum. This is not the EDT. You know, they got the original one, which actually I think it's an EDP, my bad. EDP. And we got the new Parfum that came out a few years ago. I want to say 2023, around there. And it was great for the weather today, you know. It was chilly in the morning. We're talking about, you know, 36 degrees. And then in the afternoon, we still had some nice, like, you know, low 50s, high 48s. You know, the wind out here be making the weather feel a little chilly. So, you know, it can get a little sticky out here. But, you know, we got fragrances, and we're going to talk about some other fragrances as well. You know, we're going to talk about some great spring fragrances to wear for a date night. You know, we're going to talk about different date night occasions where, you know, you might be out on the picnic. You know, you might getting a dinner out on a spring night. You might, you know, be a sugar daddy and you trying to get you a little sugar early in the morning, a little brunch. You know, we got everything going on, man. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Hump day. I think we're going to respect hump day, and we're going to talk about date night fragrances and keep the vibe on Wednesdays. So if you guys are ever interested on that side, those topics, you know, those fragrances, you know, Wednesday is going to be that day. I think I just made up my mind. Yes, sir. And then finally, we're just going to go over a little video. You know, we're going to go through a content creator that I really like. Shout out to Just Smell Better out here. And he likes to keep his reviews very, very honest. I've gotten some, you know, 1 or 2 fragrances based on him. And I would say that his reactions and his reviews are pretty on par with mine. So, you know, the guy's pretty good at what he says, at least according to my taste. So we're going to go ahead and look at some of the blind buys that he had earlier this year and see if those were some fails and if there's some fragrances worth checking out. So let's go ahead and get straight into it, all right? So let's talk about my scent of the day. Let me go ahead and pull it up right here on the screen for you guys to see. Alright. I'm going to talk about this bad Larry. Excuse me. Right here. And this is what I had on today. Good old Bvlgari Man in Black Parfum. What do you guys think about this bottle right here? Give me your honest opinion. Do you guys think the bottle's cool? You know, it's not really catching your attention. What do you think here? But just in case, a little closer up of the actual camera. I got a little 2 ml. I'm good with the 2 mls, you know. When you guys have a bunch of fragrances, I got, I don't even know how many, but I lost count after 50. But, you know, when you have a bunch of fragrances, you know, having them in the full big, you know, 300 mls type size bottles, you know, you start thinking like, man, when is enough enough? Because even with this 2 ml, bro, I'm not even going to finish this for what, like at least 2 years. Even if I were to have this in my fragrance and I were to wear it every day, this 2 ml probably going to last me for at least a whole year. Something like that. So when you take that into consideration, you know, I like to, when I get this stuff, yeah, that's something that I like to consider. But this fragrance, let's go ahead and talk about it real quick. You know, warm, spicy, woody, amber, iris, aromatic, balsamic, some tuberose, a little powderiness, some white florals. You know, usually a lot of these white florals create some of this powderiness, and it looks like we got another floral with the violet. All right, let's go ahead and go through the notes, some of these notes real quick. As we can see, this fragrance came out in 2024. I said 2023, I was off. So about 2 years, maybe even a little bit less. This might have been a late release for 2024, but we got an oriental woody. You know, I'm sorry you guys probably can't see this right here, but you know, the love, a lot of people seem like they're really liking this fragrance a lot more than they're disliking it. And as you guys can tell, this is definitely a fragrance more for the fall winter season, which I do agree. Now, one thing about this fragrance and the experience that I had on today, my fragrance spray routine was like, you know, I was a little rushed in the morning, so I had to hit it with the ba 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 ba. So that's like what, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 sprays. Now I remember when I first got this fragrance, I felt like, you know, it performed. It was like a parfum. It stuck to the skin for a decent, at least, you know, 7-8 hours. But I feel like I wasn't getting wafts like I was getting today. Now I've only had this in my collection for about when did I get this fragrance? I mean, I could really look it up, but I mean, it's one of the newer ones for sure in my collection. Probably about I want to say like 3 months. Yeah, about 3 months. And to be honest with you guys, I wanted to get the Eau de Parfum. The Eau de Parfum, I remember smelling it at Macy's one time, and I really liked it. I always heard that it was compared to Spice Bomb Extreme, which I remember getting my nose on, which is one of those fragrances where, you know, some days I really like it more than others, you know, so I don't really have an actual bottle, but I have a nice 5 ml that I've been having for, you know, at least a year, if not more. That sucker's actually pretty dark. So, but anyways, you know, it's a spicy vanilla type of fragrance, you know, a little aromatics in the background, and I really like it. It's really mature, smells masculine, perfect for those special occasions, great for, you know, date night, serious, sophisticated type of situations. And this is Spice Bomb the Extreme, right? So the Bvlgari Man in Black is compared a lot to that. So the first time me smelling the Eau de Parfum, I was really curious, and you know, I was at the Macy's, it was right there. You know, there were some girls, some older girls actually, who were smelling it, and I remember one of them was like, this one smells really good. So I was like, compliment, okay, let's see what this is talking about. So I remember at the store at Macy's, I sprayed it, and I was like, okay, you know, this is why I gave the Spice Bomb Extreme background, because I was already familiar with that scent profile, the spicy sweet vanilla with a little bit of aromatics in the background, and this was, in my opinion, slightly better. And I remember it, and I always had it in my head, and I was like, okay, Bvlgari Man in Black, sexy, masculine, dark, mysterious. It knocked all the boxes for me. And if you know me, I definitely like my black bottles, because they're usually more mysterious, a little bit more unique, perfect for date nights. You know, so many examples I can give out here. But yeah, so, you know, it was checking all the boxes for me, so boom. Then we go on. I have it on my wish list. Finally comes the day where I'm like, hey, let me treat myself. Let me check my list. Okay, cool. Men in Black. Let me get it before it gets reformulated or anything. It's definitely an older fragrance. So I went on Joma Shop, got it. But guys, this is an important note. Make sure before you buy anything, which, duh, of course, right? Make sure that everything matches exactly, description, everything, to exactly what you want. Because, I was so excited and I just saw Man in Black that I completely forgot to look if it was the actual EDP or the Parfum. So, for me, was it a blind buy fail when I first got this fragrance? I really wonder that. And to this day, I really kind of wonder. But you know what's crazy? And this is really what I really like about this fragrance game and the experiences that you can get here. And please, let me know. Is there any fragrance that you have gotten that in the beginning you were like, okay, cool, I like it, or as a gift especially, yeah, it's cool, but then you ended up liking it a lot more, it turned into a love, or vice versa? Have you ever had a fragrance that you really liked in the beginning, but then over some time you were like, yeah, this is getting kind of boring, or I'm not really liking it? Good to know. This one was on the latter. So when I first got this fragrance, like I said, I was already familiar with the Eau de Parfum. This is the Parfum. And if you guys see right here, let me scroll a little bit more down, because this is pretty important. This legend right here. Big shout out to my guy Alberto Morias. Actually, now that I think about it, one of the date night fragrances that I chose, I believe, was actually made by him. If not, I had one of his definitely in my mind. So this guy, if you guys don't know who he is a legend because he has made some of the most iconic fragrances out here in this game. He is an oldie but a goodie. Some fragrances, classics, that are still talked to and chosen over modern fragrances to this day. So this is where, when I do my fragrance research and whatnot, when I'm, I look at everything now. I even look at perfumers, because these are all things that are gonna help you in your buy. It's gonna cause less blind buy fails. And if you guys have ever gone through one of those experiences, it can definitely suck, especially if you spent your good hard-earned money on something that isn't a love. That's what I always say, and I will always say all my lives: try before you buy. So, Alberto Morias, great guy. So let's look at some of these juicy notes over here. Let me go ahead and go quickly over through some of these pros and cons. Smooth, smoky leather and resinous dry down. It's definitely masculine. Not super leathery like I remember smelling like Off the Rip with the Most Wanted, the Odd Gold bottle. I think that's the elixir, right? Yeah, the leather is really prominent in that one in the beginning with the raspberry. It was a little too animalic and strong. I'm sure once it dries down, it's really nice. This one definitely isn't that strong in the leather. You do get some nice sweet resinous dry down. Smooth for sure. Ideal for formal winter and autumn nights. Today, let me give you guys a little, I just had on, a light little shirt on like this at work today. Just had some little jeans on and then some white sneaks. So nothing crazy, and then I had like a black Columbia fleece jacket over. And that was my drip for today. And like I said, because of the weather, because it was a bit more on the cooler side, I figured that it was the fragrance, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Long story short, this fragrance right here, for me personally, when I first got it, I was like, it's good, but it might not be my thing. Somehow, because of this fragrance, I'm liking amber a lot more now. It just has like this like certain appeal or certain vibes, certain notes in here where like as you get some certain wafts, you really keep like turning back, and And this is one of those few fragrances that I really get that from. I like this cool, you know, little Bvlgari there on the top. This is all like kind of plasticky right here, so you know, for a designer, for Bvlgari, you know, come on, like I feel like it could have been better job. But you know, all the money slick went to this guy right here, because this guy's expensive now, I'm sure, to make a fragrance, and they brought him out of retirement, I'm sure. But elegant, absolutely, sophisticated, mature, professional, perfect for office fragrance, perfect for office situations. If you like to wear suits, if you're wearing an all black suit, this is the one. You going to church, this is something you'd probably wear. You know what I mean? Those type of scenarios. Last 8 to 10 hours on skin for many, not for all, right? But you know, for me, for my first time, I definitely remember it lasted definitely at least 7 to 8 hours. So that's really cool. Darker, richer, blah, 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 and all that cool stuff. But I do care about some of these cons, though. So too mature for younger age groups. Agreed. So I would say this is better for those who are like 25 plus. You know what I mean? Lacks the original signature boozy rum note. Yes, it does, which does add a little bit more sweetness to it. Redundant for owners of the original EDP. I really need to get the EDP to confirm that. Man, but I'm, like I said, this is one I wanted, the EDP. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to buy. But my dumb ass ended up getting the Parfum, right? This was one of those where I was like, man, it wasn't it. But like after 2 times wearing this, after really getting like a good experience of wearing this, I was really like dumbfounded, like this really isn't a blind buy fail, and it's slowly every time I wear it almost becoming like a love. I do like the Bvlgari Man in Black. So if you like, you know, the sophisticated type of scent profiles, this might be one to check out. Now, let's talk about some of these notes. Spiciness to the max, for sure. You're going to get a spicy blast in the beginning, and you're going to get it all the way down to the dry down. Now, spices can definitely be a turn-off for a lot of people. Why? Because, you know, a lot of times, especially with bad experiences, you get a lot of, you know, kitchen spices sort of vibes that may be not so appealing to some people. So I think that this fragrance, compared to some of those out here, really does a good job and really smoothing out those spices, so not really big old black pepper spice where it makes you itch your nose. But hold on now. And you do get that all the way down. Okay, now I do say hold on because earlier I did say that my spray routine was like 7 sprays. Boom, 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 behind the neck. And man, I don't know if it was, are you guys getting like the pollen? Are you guys starting to see pollen out here? I know the springtime is upon us. It's a coming. Spring is coming. But yeah, I don't know if it was something in the air that was tickling my nose, but I don't think so, even though that's what my girl was saying. But I really think it was the fragrance, because yeah, like my nose was extra ticklish. And I remember I was like, nah, man, I gotta get a tissue. So I got a tissue, and I definitely blew my nose today, like definitely a few times. You can probably even see how red it is right now. But nah, for real though, all jokes set aside though, it was kind of spicy. It wasn't really like I said, like overpowering, where like other people around me were like, bro, that's too strong, too spicy. Keep that kitchen spice away from me. Nah. It was none of that. I didn't get any compliments. I definitely felt confident, masculine, sophisticated wearing it. Everything was good. I think I just oversprayed. I truthfully think that 7 sprays today was a little bit too much. I think if I just went boom, 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 maybe 5, I think I would have gone better. I want to say. I'm gonna have to try it out some other time, but yeah, that's my scent of the day today, and that's kind of really how I experienced it today. Now you do get some of these iris and tuberose has become especially for women's fragrances and men's fragrances as well, because if you haven't smelled 1 Million Parfum, has a lot of tuberose, perfect for those beach vibes. Almost smells kind of like the sexiest sunscreen you can almost think about. Masculine ish, unisex, but it has some leather in there. Really good, really good. Very compliment getter, and it's just a good note to have. Iris brings some sophistication usually sometimes, and I like that this is not as powerful as the spices. I do agree with that. Some dark woody notes and some cyan benzoin, which does give a little bit of that vanillic nuance. Great. And that is my thought on it. Let me just read through a couple comments, see what some people have said recently. It's Irishy, spicy and warm, definitely less harsh than the EDP, and a bit smoother, yet it's still a bit synthetic than spices. Can be, for sure. Like I said, if you overspray like I did today, it might kind of like, tickle those nostrils a little bit, for sure. I feel like it's an occasion oriented type of scent and highly saturated market. It is an occasion oriented type of scent and highly saturated market. Personally, I'll give it a year to see where it seats. We'll see. This for spring lovers, and for most people, I don't. This probably wouldn't be a blind buy, especially if you're somebody who are like spices. Yeah, not my favorite note. You know what I mean? Definitely worth checking out if you're ever by the Macy's or something, or if you get a chance to smell it. Definitely check it out. Warm, syrupy amber, spice background, not groundbreaking. This would be a night scent. Agreed. I think throughout the night, if it lasts really well, if you had like an early dinner date, this would be good. The amber here and the dry down, that benzoin. Let me show you guys real quick too, because benzoin has become one of my kind of new favorite notes. Because something about good benzoin, which I'm not a fan of amber, right? But like I said, like I'm becoming a fan of amber, and this is one of my favorite amber notes. A warm balsamic note reminiscent of vanilla. Exactly. So you get some like vanilla nuances here. And that's what I like about it. Such an underrated oops. Come on now. Work with me here. They trying to hack my computer, y'all. They trying to hack my computer. But really quick, such an underrated flanker. OG is quite dark, manly and bold. This is more balanced and nuanced. The floral notes, elemi and benzoin, reduce the darkness and enrich the scent into more harmonious elegance. Okay, so I would say that the EDP is probably more for me, just because it's a little bit more mass appealing, and it's got some other, some rum notes. Let's go ahead and show you guys real quick. This one is more rounded out, brings out more of those spices. Great masculine fragrance, but in my opinion, look at this one right here, the OG. Warm, spicy again, a lot of spiciness, woody, leather, rum, tobacco, sweetness. 4.33 out of 10,000 votes. I mean, this one right here definitely is one worth checking out for sure. I will get my hands on it. Tonka bean, you already know, got some vanilla-ness. Benzoin, we just saw, smoky wood, spices, sweetness from the rum, some masculine tobacco. Yeah, great fragrance. If you guys haven't tried Men in Black, try it out. Try it out. One worth checking out indeed. But alright, y'all. Cool. So we just talked about my scent of the day. And now let's go ahead and get into the next topic. So the next topic that we're actually going to go ahead and talk about is date night for the spring. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who's excited for spring? I'm still kind of allergic to pollen, so hopefully my mission is not to die this spring. That will be my main mission. But yes, for hump day, we will respect it and we will talk about some date night fragrances. Now, when it comes to spring, you know, we got a lot of different situations going on. For example, as we head into these transitional periods where we're getting warm weeks, warm days, colder days, the weather ain't kind of really making up its mind. You know, we need some fragrances that are going to be able to fit those occasions. We're going to have date nights where we're going to be out in a picnic, out in a park, right? You got dogs, you got kids, you got, you know, parents. There might be some grill action going on, you know, some carne asada or something, right? The leaves are blossoming. You're seeing that pollen fade through. It's getting in your sandwich. Yeah. So we're gonna have, you know, a date night on a nice cool spring night, right? You got a nice dinner date. It's nighttime. You put it on a nice fit. You know, we're gonna talk about all these different type of situations. So let's go ahead and pop it off. I got 5 fragrances for you guys today, and let's go ahead and pop it off with this one right here. Versace Dylan Blue. You see the Versace. Nice little bottle. This one is a 1 ounce. Cool. And that's all I need. I've had this for almost about a year. And I don't know if you guys can see. Probably not really. But I crap you not, the juice is barely down here. So I still have quite a bit. And very great. Fresh, spicy off the tip. Pause. Fresh, spicy, musky. Fresh. That's what I'm getting. With some sweet vibes. And let's go ahead and look this bad Larry up. So we got the Versace Dylan Blue. Now why this one? This one, again, we got some amber, citrus, fresh, spicy, musky, aquaticness, warm, spicy, woody, fresh, aromatic, and a little bit of smoky. Yes, sir. This is the design of the bottle. And this fragrance, in my opinion, is great for daytime and nighttime. This is great for those, you know, like I said, those transitional periods, right? We're talking about, you know, there's going to be some spring days, nights where they're going to be cold. You're going to have some that are warmer. This is going to fit for all those in between as well. This one, if you look at these notes and you're familiar with the chords and whatnot, this is going to be very similar to Dior Sauvage, but of course it's going to have its differences. In my opinion, this is a little bit more Middle Eastern, in the sense that Middle Eastern, think Oriental, okay? And Oriental nowadays is what's really getting a lot of compliments, because it's bringing something different, new to the game, other than your, you know, regular freshy with just some lavender, some citrus, and some light woods. You know, people want something with a little bit more depth, something that's got a little bit more action, a little bit more character going on with it, right? And this is that, pretty much. So just like Dior Sauvage is going to perform pretty decently. Look at that. Pretty much good for all year. Wintertime even good. Just throw some extra sprays and you Gucci gang. Aromatic Fougere launched in 2016. But look at that. Who is that? That's my boy right there again. There he is again. Look. Another legend. I know you guys are tired of hearing this one, so I'm going to keep it short with this one. This is just a good all-arounder. Every time I'm going to a carne asada, to, you know, a little Latino party or something like that, a little birthday party, this is one that I really like to wear. Because at a party, you don't know if you're going to meet somebody cute, something chill, you know. I want to smell like, you know, a little bit of class, but not too classy, right? Because, you know, I'm still going to be hitting that piñata, right? And it's got a little sophistication. So this says I'm fun, but when I mean business, I mean business. Shout out to Alberto, man. In my fragrance journey, when I was first going through these fragrances, I was water notes was definitely one where if I saw water notes in there, I'm like, yep, go ahead, let me try that one, because I really like water notes. Just brings the nice aquatic-ness, just something other than what like violet leaf, because sometimes a lot of times, but this can be a little too piercing to the nose, you know. Maybe not everybody's favorite, right? But here with this fig leaf, I'll say the papyrus and the saffron with the incense is kind of where you're getting a little bit more of those oriental vibes compared to Dior Sauvage, right? Because Dior Sauvage is definitely going to have some bergamot. It's going to have ambroxan, peppers, some patchouli. And, you know, usually ambroxan and musk kind of go hand in hand. But, yeah, so looking at these notes, they might appeal to you. They may not. All I'm saying is it might be worth a try. Sample if you haven't tried it out. I will say that this one, just like I talked about earlier with the Bvlgari, no cap, because, you know, I don't like to lie to anything. I like to keep things open book, and I apologize if I forget anything. But before I forget, this one was another one similar to this one. When I first got it, I was like, yeah, cool. You know, I heard all the hype, this and that. And I was like, man, is it for real? Tried it on, and I was like, yeah, it's alright, but it's not really moving me. After a few times, and I have gotten very few compliments, you know. Good fragrance and everything. My girl likes it a lot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's a good one to have. Versatile, but definitely one worth checking out. Try before you buy. And if you don't like it when you get this sample, you know, if you wear it later again after a week or a month or so, you might really start appreciating it. Something about like the dry down, some sensual, sexy musk with a little bit of smokiness. You know, you got a little vanilla here with this powdery tonka bean action, and then your classic, you know, kind of like Dior Sauvage backbone with some bergamot, black pepper, and ambroxan, and some nice watery notes right here. So yeah, cool fragrance for those date nights. No brainer. Put it on anytime, anywhere, and it'll get you going. Projects really well for the first hour or two. That pepper's pretty strong, fresh spiciness, those citrus, that musk carries through the air and definitely get to your nose. And we'll keep it moving. So another one that I've been liking a lot, a new purchase of mine. Coworker of mine wears this all the time. This is his new fragrance. Signature scent for the office. But this is that and much more. Yes, sir. Prada Paradigme. I think it's Paradigm. But Prada Paradigme. Hey, shout out to everybody who's in here, man. Shout out to the Fragrance Familia. What up, what up, what up? What is your scent of the day? If you're just popping in, my scent of the day was Bvlgari Man and Black Parfum. We are going over some great date night fragrances for the spring for this year. We just went over Versace Dylan Blue, which has been a banger, it's been a classic, and will continue to be a, what's it called, like an army knife, a Swiss army knife. Just very versatile, can't go wrong with it. It is a little unique, more unique than Mass Appeal, I would say. so it might be a not blind buy safe, at least per me. Definitely always try before you buy. But if you like the Dior Sauvage, then this might be a scent profile that you may like as well. So Prada Pear Dig Me. Nice cool green to black bottle. What do you guys rate this bottle from a scale 1 to 10? Not crazy, but you know, it's cool. You know, another small one. I think like a 1.7 ounce. I don't need any more. This is all I need. When you got more than 10, more than 20 fragrances, bro, you don't need big bottles. Tell me, when are you going to finish all them bottles? I know I'm not. So yeah, the Prada Pear Dig Me. Great fragrance that has come out here. A new one to the game. And it seems to be getting a lot of hype. Okay. Every day I'm seeing more and more people talk about this, which is crazy. It's actually very hilarious because if I do recall, a lot of people were also kind of hating this in the beginning. Now why? Let's go ahead. I don't even know if we'll pick it up, but just for shits and giggles, let's see. We're on Fragrantica right now, and we like to go over and see what fragrances it smells like, what other people think it may smell like. And yep, boom, right there. So I think this is why a lot of people weren't too happy with this new fragrance of Prada. And in my opinion, Prada is one of the best designer houses for men's fragrances, in my humble opinion. So many bangers I can go off with. They just make bangers. We're actually going to talk about one. Actually, I got 2 Pradas now that I think about it. That's crazy. But yeah, if you guys haven't tried Prada, definitely check them out. And definitely, you know, one of those fragrance houses that, man, like I could put my trust in, because I know that they gonna get me right for the most part. Matter of fact, I don't even think I have. Actually, I take that back. There is a Prada, an old Prada fragrance, like the Amber, Prada Amber Pour Homme, that I remember sampling a long time ago, that smells like grandma soap or soap from like back in the 90s, you know what I mean? So back in the day, anyways, yeah, Prada's cool. So yeah, Prada Pear Dig Me. Fresh, spicy. We got some amber, some aromatic, woodiness, balsamic, citrus, musky, warm, spicy, rose, and a little bit of powderiness. You know, I don't know about you guys, but lately, ever since I've been doing these lives and I've been focusing more on you guys and, you know, more on these notes and on the screen and whatnot, I'm starting to notice a little trend here. I'm starting to notice an amber trend. Like, definitely a lot more amber is being pushed out in these fragrances. And I am seeming balsamic. Okay? I don't know exactly what this is going to entail, but what I can tell so far is that it seems to be on a positive trend. This fragrance, you know, me, a little bit about me. I'm not super big into amber. I wasn't super big. It can come off a little grandma-ish to me sometimes, you know, but lately, especially with this one, this is one that has made me really fall in love with amber, or see really like the beauty of it, like understand the beauty of it, even though it has a lot of benzoin, which is one of my favorite ambers because it got that vanilla nuance, right? And yeah, so it really just depends on the amber, I guess, really, right? But I've been seeing a lot of trend here with that, and some balsamic nature, with sometimes I can see creates like this almost, not molasses, because molasses sounds kind of like yucky, right? But I like to think like a balsamic vinaigrette, you know, like the sweetness, the little sweet nuance behind that, you know, with a little like very tinge of bitterness or something to it. You know, that's kind of, but in the best way possible, right? In perfumery, I mean, we're talking about like actual derived notes and stuff like that. So I'm seeing a little trend there. So, you know, something to maybe peep out in the future, right? So when we go down here, this is definitely a new one that just came out in 2025. Actually, towards the end of 2025, if I'm correct, towards like the middle half. So, you know, kind of new in the game with only slightly less than 3,000 votes. We're at a 3.81 out of 5 with a love, most likely, love, like, and very little dislike and hate. Have you guys tried this? Have you guys tried this product Paradigmy? And what do you guys think about it? Man, dude, I got some oily fingertips, right, y'all? Jeez Louise. That's crazy. Well, product Paradigmy, man. Nice cool little sprayer. Yeah. Sexy. Straight up sexiness. That's what I'll get. Definitely get some muskiness over here. And this is where a lot of this rose. So geranium a lot of times can come across a little rosy. But in one of my favorite fragrances from Carolina Herrera, the lightning bolt, the bad boy line is the blue bottle. The cobalt has some geranium in there. And a lot of the fragrances like YSL have some geranium in them. And I can't think of any, but geranium is one of those notes. If you guys notice, you know, it seems to be pretty good. It seems to be pretty good over here. Of course, your classic bergamot. You got some benzoin, which you talked about earlier. A little bit of smoky woods, masculine woods in the background with some Peru balsam. Now I'm Peruvian, right? I'm half Peruvian, half Colombian. But I don't know what the heck Peru balsam is. So I don't know about you guys, but I want to see real quick. So it is a resin and a balsam, an intense woody, coniferous, aromatic, ambery fragrance. Huh? What the hell? What in the hell is a Peru balsam? An intense woody coniferous aromatic ambery fragrance? Okay. I'm not too familiar with this note, but all I can say is in this fragrance, it does what it needs to do. It is definitely different because of those amberiness, right? And but you get some fresh spiciness in there, which is always pleasant. Ginger, black pepper, those are all fresh spicy notes. The fresh spiciness here, I would assume, is most likely coming from this musk. I don't know exactly what kind of musk they got going on here. And maybe a lot of geranium, seems like it. Florally in the background. Musky, a little citruses. And some vanilla sweetness. Great fragrance. Perfect for those moments when I say that you're out in the picnic. Okay? It's springtime. You're at a park. You know. You got a dog with you. Maybe it's a doggy date, right? You with this cute little thing that you met at the doggy park. And you're like, hey, you know, let's come next week and let's have a picnic here. She's like, okay. And you know, you come next week and you got the setup, you know what I mean? You try to make it old school. You got the little basket. You gonna bring out little sandwiches, nothing crazy. You trying to keep it chill, but you trying to keep it cute, right? Springtime, you know, the florals are coming out. You know, you smelling the pollen in the air. This is a great fragrance. Great for right afterwards. You're going with a walk around with her. With the dog, you know, it's gonna be kind of hot outside, right? So you might have like a white tee on, you know, it's a little picnic date, so maybe a white tee, some jeans, you know, some chill. This is it. Or maybe you a tracksuit type of dude, Adidas black tracksuit. This is it. That's what that's a great fragrance for that type of occasion. Moving on. We're going to talk about another one. Now, I think a lot of people have heard about this. And if you have not, this is one that I think will definitely be one for you. I think this is a very mass appealing fragrance. I think this fragrance is a safe blind buy. I am very confident in that. I think so much so that, you know, it's introduced my nose to this note right here. The kumquat. The what? The kumquat. Oh my goodness, I'm losing it here. The kumquat. You got a lot of sweetness from the pear, juicy pear going on here. You see this, a lot of citruses going on over here with some fresh lavender in the middle notes. Again, you see it, geranium, sexy cardamom. Every time you see cardamom, my brain almost thinks date night sexiness. Not every time, but most of the time. And then you got some fresh spiciness from the coriander. You got some musk, ambergris, some suede, amberwood, and Haitian vetiver. Some woods. Y'all, this is it. 413 out of 4,000. More loves again. Perfect for the spring and summer. Great day fragrance. I think it's a good transitional as one. This is one that towards the nighttime, 4 to 6 hour performer. Easy resprayable. And when you find this at Joma Shop, don't get anything retail, but when you get it on Joma Shop, you know, it's usually maybe like 50 bucks. So nothing crazy. Great fragrance to have. Another versatile one, great for the office. Because of that suede, it's got some sexiness in there. Oh man, dude, but those that kumquat, man, dude, it's that pear, bro. It's that pear. Y'all, it's that pear. Pear's a juicy, fruity, fresh type of note. But one of my faves, man. And this definitely brings the sexiness. It brings a little maturity. This is great for, man, dude, for even 15-year-olds all up until like 30, even 35, I would say. This is it. I mean, dude, I work with 2 older guys, right? In their 30s, late 30s. And they love this. They love this fragrance. They run it up, bro. They run it up, man. Great fragrance. And it's still in the air. Oh, man, dude. I don't know what it is about it. I got the black one. They came out with a new one. The Parfum. No. This is the Coach for Men EDT right here. And they came out with the EDP. Screw this one. Throw it away. This one all day, baby. All mother effing day. Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your fragrance boy here. How are you doing, bro? What's up, my boy? How you doing? I'm living good, bro. Appreciate you for coming in, saying what's up, hello. My fragrance of the day, Man in Black Parfum. Have you tried this one? Man in Black Parfum? Maybe you try the EDP? Not bad. Definitely like it a lot. Have you seen the silver? Yes. So I have seen the silver. Oh, but really quick before I go. This girl right here, we talked about Alberto Morias. We talked about how he made this one. And he makes a lot of iconic fragrances. Right? OG in the game. This girl right here, dude, she's been in a lot of bangers, bro. You gonna see her name. She's up there. This Bruno Jovanovic. I'm not sure, bro. Whoever had their hands on this fragrance right here, they did their thing. I don't know what it is about it, bro. It's like fresh, fruity, sweet. It has everything. Aromatic, citrus, like a little salty musk in the background. Oh man. Yeah. I actually remember when I first got it, man, that's all I wore for like a week straight. Then I was like, nah, chill. I don't want to get bored of it. But the silver one, what was it called? It's not Open Road. It's I can't remember right now, but let's see. Coach for Men. Platinum, of course. Stupid. But look at that. Yeah, some other nice notes right here. Woodiness, fresh, spicy, aromatic, vanilla, powdery, sweet, fruity, warm, spicy, leather, musky. 4.14 out of less than 2,000 votes. So a little bit less votes than the other one, but about the same rating. If not, I think it might be like 0.2 higher. Oh, there goes that Bruno Giovanni guy. All right. Juniper berries, I'm a big fan of. Pineapple is always nice. Tropical vibes. Black pepper's cool, fresh, spicy, especially if you like Dior Sauvage. Me, personally, I think I'm liking more of the pink pepper than the black pepper, but black pepper's good. Cashmere, I do like, is one of those notes that I do like in my fragrances. Geranium, we just talked about again. And guys, again, we see it again. Geranium, it's just one of those notes that it works. It does what it needs to do. Sage, got a lot of vanilla. You got some leather, sandalwood. When I see sandalwood and vanilla, I usually get cream of vanilla vibes. And then you get a little bit of patchouli in the background. Yes, sir. This looks like a great fragrance. If you guys like these notes and find them attractive, shout out to my boy, Best Smelling. Seems like he'll have you the best smelling out here. So check that one out if you guys like about 80 to 90% of those notes. Usually when I look at notes and I see that I like 90% of them, I'll usually be, content for the most part with my purchase. I will say that, I really do like the original. The original is what does it for me the most. And I don't know if it's because this Anne Filippo's in there. Maybe she's personally one. I really like a lot of perfumes that she's been involved with. I don't know if it's because she added a female touch. We talked about another live how some people might look at a female perfumer doing the fragrance for a guy's fragrance, and you might be like, nah, what is she gonna know or whatnot. Personally, I think that she knows what girls like in dudes fragrances, so she really out here trying to bless the guys up. So shout out to Anne Filippo. Thank you for blessing the guys up. Thank you. Well, yeah. Bro, we just talked about that, bro. Hell yeah. The Prada Paradigme. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Best Smelling again. I got a little small one right here. But yes, we did talk about this actually. I actually said that this fragrance, and you let me know what you think. But this, to me, great date night for the spring for this year. I think that this gives me, you got a little pup. You at the dog park. You see a little fine shit over there. You like, she look cool, and you already know what to do. You go over there, and you chop it up with her, and you're like, hey, I really like your vibe and whatnot. Like, I would really like to get to know you more. Your pup looks very well behaved, I believe, just like her mother. You know what I mean? You get your way in there, and then you get a little picnic date going on. You know what I mean? This one, I think, is what you would be wearing at a picnic date. You whip out that magic carpet, that little basket. You whip up the sandwiches, the little, the leaves are blossoming. Hopefully you ain't getting none of that pollen in your sandwich, but yeah. That's the vibes that I get here. But this is really good for office too, for anywhere if you got a little baddie in the office. Really good too. Not super projecting where it's going to be loud like a party fragrance, but it does create a really nice scent bubble around you. So whenever somebody enters your personal bubble, per se, they going to smell you. You said you don't. So you don't like this one. So Prada Paradigme versus Versace. You saying that you going with the Versace all day? Versace all day? Let the people know. Let the people know. Because that's really good. That's really good. We just talked about how Prada Paradigme has like the amber, but it has good amber in here, but it is a little unique too. And we talked about how this one's also a little bit unique compared to Dior Sauvage because it has a little bit more, in my opinion, like oriental nuances towards it. I do think that they're both pretty versatile. I think this is perfect for those day to transitioning to nighttime. You know what I mean? That's more of a vibe than I get here. I get more daytime use here. But let the people know, because if they see these two and they like, which one should I smell first? You know, maybe they should go with this one. Yes, sir. I like that. I like that. I like that. And we just talked about big old Coach. This one right here, for sure, out of the other, compared to the other two, less expensive, designer brand as well. Compared to the Versace Dylan Blue, maybe not, but definitely very affordable and more mass appealing in my opinion. And it's got like that, like a fruity sexiness towards it compared to the other two, in my opinion. Okay, and now let's talk about this one. Best smelling. Let us know, bro. What do you think about this one for spring 2026? Should we let it go? Is there something better? This is an oldie but a goodie. This one, it's crazy because like Elsa from Frozen, I would like to let it go, but hell no. Jeez Louise, man. Even to this day, when I think of clean white tea, when I think of clean white tea, my brothers, Prada L'Homme is what I'm thinking about. When you want to smell expensive, you wearing a white tee and you just headed to the bank or to the grocery stores because you just got it like that, and you pulled up in your little Corvette drop top. This is at least what you gotta be rocking. This one compared to the other Prada Paradigme, I think still is sexier. This is a really sexy fragrance. This one, I remember wearing it one time for work, and I had one of the administrating ladies come downstairs, and as soon as she walked in the room, she said, "Hey, I don't know which one of y'all smelling good out here, but somebody smells like very fresh, clean." And she said it like what she really meant to say was, "I don't know who that is, but somebody smells like the freshest, sexiest mother effer that I have ever smelled." That was the type of vibe and reaction that I got from her. And I agree. Like I said, Prada, in my opinion, is just one of the best. One of the best designer men houses out there, man. Definitely want to check out. One that you need to sample. This is definitely one that I say you gotta sample. Get your nose on it. If you've never smelled Iris, this will open up your nose palette to something that you may like, or you may learn to hate it. But this is a very good point. If you're like powdery, bro, powder? Nah, the only powder that I use are the one on my cakes. You're not shame. Nah, but if you really not like, nah, bro, powdery florals, that's not my thing, bro. That's too fam. Nah. Give me the leather. You know what I mean? Give me the tobacco. And this might not be it. Give it a chance. It really might open up your nose. Powderiness, iris, violet, which usually go hand in hand. Woody, fresh, spicy, warm, spicy, so a little spicy, aromatic background. Some nice earthy nuance in the background. Some amber and a little bit of florals in the back. 4.46 out of 5 with 15,000 reviews. That should say a lot. We've already seen a bunch of reviews and notes out here. This is definitely one of the highest ratings out here from the fragrances that we have talked so far. Perfect for spring and summer. Perfect for all year, bro. I could rock this all day. I got the black one too, the Intense. Perfect for those fall, winter. I wear this a lot of times for my the work parties at the end of the year, you know what I mean, Christmas parties, because it just brings sophistication towards it, man. Like this, the sexiest, sophisticated. You gotta be about your shit when you wear that. You gotta be about your shit. You gotta stand on business. Yes sir, yes sir. Boss Bottle Beyond. Boss Bottle Beyond. Shit. Damn, I think I got that through the mail through Ulta. You know, they send you kind of some of those new samples that you can kind of fold or whatever. Not the same thing, right? But check this out. The Boss Bottle Beyond. Cool fragrance for sure. It's a new fragrance, I believe. You're talking about the gray one, right? The new one, if I'm correct. If so, that one definitely smells good, especially if you're not a big fan of leather like me. Sometimes leather can be a love or hate relationship. They do leather good on that one. Great ginger vibe. That's what I remember. And I remember the dry down being pretty cool. Pretty cool for sure. So definitely want to check out, guys, man. Shout out to Best Smelling. He's out here letting you guys know about some game. The Prada Paradigme reminds me of YSL. DNA is boring. Yes, especially the YSL Myself DNA. I personally think you're right. I think the YSL Myself DNA has unfortunately become overplayed. It's crazy because it's been only in the market for about maybe 4 or 5 years, so it's not one that's been super old, but it's become like the new Dior Sauvage where everybody pretty much has it in their collection. Most likely you smelt it before on somebody. So yeah, it's starting to get boring. Plus, you know, if you own it, which, hold on, brother, I got you here real quick. I don't personally own it, but pretty much the next best thing. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? So the YSL Myself, it's a good smelling fragrance. It's one of those fragrances out there that, you know, just like we talked about with Paradigme or the Prada L'Homme, for example, right? You know, perfect for those white teas. YSL Myself just smells like fresh, clean clothes, right? Nothing crazy, but at the time it was new and it was interesting. It brought out Amber Fix. You know, it was making amber a lot popularized again. Remember we talked about amber and the trend. But it does get boring after a while, especially when you're paying YSL prices, which is like what, like $120, bro? Yeah, hell no. This is Fragrance World's One Self. It looks damn near like the thing, and it smells really close. Obviously, the quality's not there, but it gets the job done. And you couldn't have said it better, brother. You couldn't have said it better. It's good, great, can't go wrong with it. But to spend $120 for a smell like that, that's really not bringing anything crazy to the game. Yeah, skip. I'll get this. This is less than $40. I'll get that all day. Spray it like crazy as hell. Ain't killing nobody. Chilling. We in there. Now, really quick before I move on though, what do you think about this one? I know a lot of people like YSL Myself. YSL Myself is, you know, it's not bad, but like my boy said, it can get boring for sure. But what do you think about this one? Myself, what? Gucci Guilty did it first. I've been told people that they did it first. Then they came out, repopularized it, but then Gucci Gang said, hey, bruh, we did it first, fam. We the ones who did it first, fam. They say, whoop. And they came out with this. Y'all hear that? Craziness. Look, 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 look. Bvlgari, right? Plastic. Ceramic. Crazy, bro. Gucci Guilty Love Edition. Beautiful fragrance. I personally like this one more than the Myself. So screw the Myself. I won't get that. Did spend nice bread on this. I like this one more. Brings something a little bit different. Brings more of that balsamic nature. Got juniper instead of boring bergamot. Man, bergamot everywhere, bro. We like something a little different. So yeah. Boss Bottle Beyond is much more mature and masculine. Agreed. So great point. For those of you out there, you know, we were just talking about earlier with just best smelling out here. You know, we were talking about Prada Paradigme. We were talking about how, you know, this smells very similar to the YSL Myself, and how that scent profile nowadays can get boring. I do think that this does that, but a little bit better, right? I do like this one better than Myself, in my opinion. But I do agree, and that's been a lot of hate with this fragrance, especially because, you know, it's not bringing anything new to the game. It's just, you know, kind of repeating itself a little bit over with, just making it a little bit different. So maybe it's not really worth your money out there, like we just talked about. For those of you who haven't got your nose on Boss Bottled Beyond, it is a new fragrance that just came out. I don't remember when again, bro, but it definitely was a new fragrance, definitely not too long ago. If you get your chance to smell it at Macy's, Ulta, Sephora, something like that, Boss Bottled Beyond. Hold on, I'm sleep. Boss Bottled Beyond. Look at that. And for those leatherheads, for those who want, you know, sexiness, freshness, but, you know, we're like, bro, we hear you, floral's cool, girls might like it, cool, but nah, give me that leather, give me that tobacco. Here we at. Give me them woods. I do like me some woods. This is a good leather, like I said. Me personally, I'm not a big leather head, but when leather is done really correctly, you know, it definitely can be a love. So, you know, for somebody like me, when you see leather on the top right here, it might be a little off-putting. Try before you know, before you deny. A lot of fresh spiciness from the ginger that I do remember. Some woods, fresh, animalic, smoky, and citrus. Look at that. Almost a 4 out of 5 with 1,000 votes. New 2025 leather fragrance. Oh, we got that Bruno again. Okay, Bruno. I see you. Daphne Bouguet and Frank Volko. Bro, it's crazy because we just talked about the coach, right? We just talked about coach, and we looked how I liked Anne Filippo, and we saw how Bruno Jovanic was on there again. Our boy Best Smelling, shout out to him, just said how he said, have you tried the platinum? And we looked at the platinum, and we saw that Bruno Jova, this dude Bruno was the only dude on the coach platinum. And now we see his name again for Boss Bottled Beyond. So Best Smelling, this is something where I'd say, I'd be like, okay, there may be a trend going on here. This may be one of those occasions where you might have to look at other fragrances that this dude makes, because he might speak to your nose. He might smell what you smell. You smell me? Versace Dylan Blue is a classic. Look, you heard it. Real recognize real. Real recognize real. Versatility knife all day, baby. All day. Let me go ahead and go through this chat real quick, because if not, I'm going to get lost in the sauce. In the meantime, let me just play a little jam that I made with my bud. And yeah. Alright, so for those of you guys just smelling, best smelling, my bad, just said try out Boss Bottled Beyond. Definitely a good one to check out if you haven't a new one out here. If you want to smell new and fresh, soapy and fresh, clean vibes. Yes, sir. Givenchy Gentleman Society Extreme is a great one as well. Alright, we'll definitely check that one. I definitely heard of that one. Has anybody else tried Gentleman Society's Extreme? Let us know, let us know. Have you tried the new Stronger With You Powerfully? Dude, unfortunately not, bro. Unfortunately not. I'm really trying to, because you know what? I love I don't love it, but I really do find cherry fragrances done correctly, which I feel like the Stronger With You is going to do a really good job with. I think it might be a banger. I've already seen some first impressions, and I'm a little upset because it seems like the cherry notes not really going to get carried through out the fragrance. And the fragrance that actually made me like cherry was this guy right here, bro. Have you tried this one? Oh shit. Oh, that's crazy. You can't even see that, huh? L'Homme Ideal, Eau de Parfum. Bro, great cherry fragrance. Cherry, leather, tobacco. Ah, some citrus, dude. I don't even, vanilla. I don't remember exactly what's in here, but dude, gas, sexiness. This is sexiness for sure. Beautiful fragrance. Stronger With You Parfum is a banger. Dude, I've heard of that, but you know it's crazy. Look, I think, you know, everybody can agree that the Stronger With You, you know, the Stronger With You line is a great fragrance. I think you can pretty much go with almost any of one of them and you'll like it. You just got to go through the line and find which one you love the most, which one calls out to you. I remember that Absolutely definitely called to me because of the sweet rum note. And I think there was something else in there. I think something green or something that I really... But yeah, that one was really good. The original actually was really good too, I remember. The Parfum, look, it became to a point where the Strong With You, I was like, man, like, yeah, they all kind of have, like, they all kind of smell the same. They just got different nuances to it, which is why I really like the Powerfully, or I was excited for it, because I like cherry. Like I said, great cherry fragrance right here, the L'Homme Ideal. So I'm gonna definitely check it out nonetheless, but we gonna see the Parfum. I don't know, I'll definitely try it out, because try before you deny, for sure. But it's one of those where, you know, I'm gonna take my time. You know, next time I go in the Sephora or something, if I see it, I'll definitely check it out, right? But not one that I'm super excited about compared to the Powerfully per se. Have you seen the new Prada Luna Rosa EDP? The Luna Rosa EDP. No, I don't think so. I know that they just came out with the... I know they just came out with the... What was it? The Carbon EDP. So Prada came out with Carbon EDP, which I have the original. I know that they reformulated the original one. And the original one smells like Dior Sauvage. But in my opinion, a little bit better. Dior Sauvage might smell a little too pungent to the nose, a little too synthetic or harsh, some people might say. Prada L'Homme smells a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more mature, and a little bit more better blended, in the sense that, you know, that those synthetic edges compared to the Dior Sauvage, you know, they're more smoother. The smoother fragrance here with the Carbon. So the EDP, I'm kind of about, right, for that one. But I don't. Is that one where you're talking about the Prada Luna Rosa Carbon EDP? Or are we talking about the original? Because I do like the original, but I didn't know that. How long do you... Okay, so the fragrance world right here, bro, I shit you not, dude. For the money, definitely worth it. Definitely at least 4 hours. I think I have a YouTube video where I talked a little bit more in depth about this one, and I definitely will make, you know, updates about it. I can make another one. But this one, definitely, if I recall, at least 4 to 6 to pushing to 7 hours longevity wise. I good, you know, good wasp for at least 5. Great fragrance, bro. Smooth. Like I said, if you like the YSL myself, but you just don't justify spending that type of bread, you know, like I said, this is when I first got it. You know, it did smell a little cheap smelling. It was like, ooh, that bergamot smells like a little too cheap for me, you know. But I shit you not, after like a week or so, it got better. It developed a little bit better, and now love it, gang, love it. Like I said, definitely just compared to the YSL, obviously the quality of ingredients are not going to be the same. However, for the money, 120 versus less than 40 bucks. I don't remember exactly. I think 20. Here, let's look that up really quick for those who might want to care. Let's see. Looks like Fragflex got it. And they're sold out. You know what's crazy? Every time I'm on Fragflex, this bitch be going out. So I think that says it all. I forgot about that. I think that really says it all, bro. The fact that, you know, this is a cheapie, you know, less than $40 fragrance, and it gets sold out every time I look at it. Clearly people are liking it. So it's a 4.5, only 2 reviews, slightly above average, a little above projection, moderate, more moderate in my opinion. Sillage maybe more moderate, maybe slightly on the heavier side, but you know, moderate. Longevity decent, in my opinion. Let's see, what does this fool say? Or Fuleta. Marina G says, I own the original. Fragrance World makes great clones, so I tried this. Smells really close to the OG, but doesn't last long at all. But you can just overspray a little. It's good quality, smells really close. OG more smoother, better quality for sure though. I agree. Perfect. Good quality after you give it the week. Smells really close. Not the best performer, but you know, for this type of fragrance, you know, it's just fresh and clean. Those aren't supposed to long too long. And yeah, OG just is a little bit better in quality. And then we got Ron, who gave it a 5, and he says, buy it! Smells like YSL myself with better longevity. So it seems like he's a fan right there. So yeah, if you guys like that type of scent profile, but you guys don't want to spend the money on it, you know what I mean? Bing bada boom. That's what I think about you. I like the Gucci Guilty EDP and the new Absolute one. It's nice, spicy, and boozy. Gucci Guilty Absolute? Oh, yes. Okay, cool. So you like leather, my boy? Do you like leather? Alberto Marias, look, here we go again. Bruh, my man knows game, bro. My man knows game. Told you, man. Legend. You see him again. His name pops up again. So that instantly tells me that I'm going to have to get my nose on this. I've heard of it. These notes do scare me a little bit, right? It's definitely going to be very masculine, which I'm not scared about. It's just a lot of woods, leather. But I'm asleep, bruh. I'm so asleep. This man Alberto been on the game. Cypress, patchouli, leather. Okay. Is this kind of like a Boss Bottle Beyond? Schlick? Kind of like that? Because the Cypress I know going to bring some freshness in the game. Must be some good leather too. And the new Absolute Gucci Guilty EDP. Yeah, Gucci Guilty EDP straight for sure. Have you tried the new Creed Oud Azarian? No, I have not. I heard that that one's a beast. I've heard that one's very oody. And me and Oud, we still haven't made a lot of love just quite yet. You know what I mean? I'm definitely like the more mass appealing Ouds. I haven't got my nose on the stinky poopy Oud. But I'm gonna get to it. I've definitely smelled some other Creeds. I definitely like Creed. Creed as a brand is definitely great. It sucks, damn, bro. Like curry spices. Wait. Have you tried the new Creed Oud Azarian? It sucks, damn, bro. Like curry spices. Damn, bro. So my boy right here, best smelling, just gave out some gang. He said if you smell like Oud Azarian out here, he said you gonna smell like some curry spices. So I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to smell like no crazy spices. Cause then the honeys are gonna run away from me, bruh. And then that ass, I'm gonna be like, you know, which is kind of crazy because earlier we just talked about, right? I'm glad you bring that up, curry spices versus, you know, I talked earlier about my scent of the day. This one has a buttload of spices. But in my opinion, because I've had a lot of spicy fragrances out here, I agree. I feel like Oud Azarian would definitely be more oriental spices. This one brings spices that didn't really sting my nostrils like other spices that I've tried have, right? Like maybe like a black pepper per se. So that's a good point that you bring out there about that for sure. Have you seen the new Ultra Bell? Yes and no. So I've heard about it. I've seen it, but I haven't actually smelt it. I actually wanted to do a reaction video to my guy jonnyscentss. I know he had a first impression on the Le Male in Blue scent. So I was very curious, but I'm going to have to hit him up because I want to ask his permission if I'm able to, because I don't want to get canceled out here. I want to have friends, not enemies. But yeah, I definitely want to see what's up with that one. I'm looking forward to the new Prada Luna Rosa EDP. Bro, again, is that the Prada Luna Rosa, the original EDP? Because if so, that's hype. That's actually really hype. Try to look for it. Couldn't find none. But I'm gonna have to find more info on that because I'm curious. I do like Prada, guys. I told y'all, man. Prada makes some really good fragrance out here. Get your nose on some Prada. Some Prada. You like Prada Ocean Blue, but you ain't trying to spend that money? Smells very close to like it. I don't care about Prada Ocean anymore. They reformulated it. They got a new one. They spending new money, new taxes, new tariff money on that. I don't care. EDT got me right here. Less than 40 bucks. I'm cool with that. I'm gonna run that all day. Ralph Lauren got a new one too. Bro, this year's about to be crazy. Ever since fragrances every year just seem to be dropping. I still need to get my nose on the New York one. It has a lot of black currant. Heard a lot of positive things about it, so definitely need to get my nose on it. Oh, bro, I'm gonna be alive as much as possible. So my schedule right now for live is hop in at the same time as much as possible. So definitely during the week, I'm gonna try to take this serious and try to hop in here from like, you know, at least 8 to 10. you know, just ranging around that time. I may pop in here 7 if I get an early dinner, but we'll see. But that's going to be my schedule. Like I said earlier today, shout out to Hump Day. Today is Wednesday. It is Hump Day. So I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start treating Hump Days and giving it, like, you know, talk more about date night fragrances, more about like date nights and, you know, those type of vibes. So I think that's what we going to do for sure. For sure, that's definitely what we going to do. So, man, y'all more than welcome to come in. Appreciate everybody. Fragrance Familia, much love out here. Smell good out here. You know what I mean? Get your girl, get you some smell good. You know what I mean? And yes, sir. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Have you tried the new Tom Ford Oud Voyage and the fig one? That one, unfortunately, not. Tom Ford, I've had my nose on some of them. I feel like that's a house that, you know, I really need to stop being a little bee about it and really get my nose on a whole bunch of them. So thank you. You gave me a good idea. I think I'm about to get a bunch of samples and then hop on live here and just talk about a bunch of them. So definitely one that I'll try out. Fig is cool. Fig, we got good relationships for the most part. I don't really have anything towards against Fig, but it is a little bit more unique and a little harder to pull off in my opinion. So that's my thought on that. And have you seen the new Bad Boy Cobalt? Bruh, I need to get that. I need it! Give it to me. Give it to me. This stuff is gas. Gas.com. Bomb. This is gas, though. This is gas. This is gas. Bad Boy Cobalt all day, baby. It's crazy because, you know, you see the dent. You're like, bro, what you talking about? You love this fragrance. You barely made a dent. It's because I'm saving it. And I don't know why. I love it, man. Juicy plum, sexiness, fresh, clean, pink pepper. Oh man, oh man, oh man. We talking about date night, date fragrances, and I forgot to whip this one out. I'm tripping. This is gonna be in every single one. It should be mentioned in every single one. It's great. What fragrance would you think would be best to gift for my dad who likes subtle yet clean scents? Perfect. Thank you for asking. Shout out to Ivo XZ8681. I got you, bro. Sorry I'm getting a little late over here. I'm catching up a little bit. But if you're still in here, my man, the best gift for my dad who likes subtle yet clean scents. Okay, so we got clean. We want subtle, and we want something for a dad. So I'm thinking mature, clean, fresh, not too strong. This is cool, great, but for a dad, might be a little too young. He might like it if he try and get the young honeys, if he's single, ready to mingle. But nah. If I really would tell you what to get your dad, bro, first I would ask you, can you name a fragrance that he has in his collection just to kind of give me an idea of what kind of scents that he likes? If we're doing this straight off the top, this is cool. I just said how this fragrance is so crazy because I work with some coworkers who are in their 30s, like 35, almost 40, around that age. They're dads, and they love this fragrance. They love this fragrance. I gifted this to them like 2 Christmases ago. They love it, man. They love it. So what I meant to say about that is that this is good for all ages, up to almost to 40, in my opinion. Definitely good. But if not, right? But we want something sexy as well because there's some cardamom. Cardamom always bring something sexy to the game. This is definitely clean, subtle, right? Not too projecting. A nice little scent bubble around you, right? But it's crazy. I actually talked about this one yesterday, I think. Cheek for Men by Carolina Herrera. Great fragrance, especially for those very hot summer or spring days where, you know, this one doesn't perform super strong. This is definitely a nice 4 to 6 hour right here, right? but great fragrance. Got some nice, juicy, almost watermelon, right? So like juicy, aquatic watermelon. There's some cinnamon, some black pepper in here. So some fresh spices, some woods, some citruses, a little bit of cardamom. Great fragrance, bro. Especially if you're the type of guy that you want something subtle, sexy, mature smelling, sophisticated, right? There's some class here. It's not like this one where it's going to smell a little youthful. You like to have fun, right? Great, sexy, fresh smelling. You like to have fun. You like to have fun, but you bought your business first. Business before pleasure. I think that's one that your dad would really enjoy. Another one we talked about earlier, Perfect for Spring. Great for dads right here. There's a sense of sophistication here. Great one for dads. And this one's not a super strong performer as well. You don't need that many sprays. Okay, those are two good ones over there that we've talked about. And yeah, if you can give me some fragrances, a fragrance that your dad kind of likes as well, you know, that'll open me up and I'll think of some other ones. And I'm sure I got some other ones in here that I can easily talk about, but I'll circle back around that, okay, bro? But great question right there. Have you seen the new Azzaro Absolute? I have seen it. I have seen some first impressions on it. It seems to be a good one. The Azzaro, I do have the Most Wanted Parfum. If you like vanilla, really good. If you like ginger, really good. Some woods. Great date night fragrance for the fall and winter time, in my opinion. I will try the Absolute. I've tried the Elixir, cool. I've had the Intense, the all black one. That one's cool, but maybe it's a little outdated nowadays. But still a really good fragrance. Can't go wrong with it. One of the best date night fragrances to have out here. Definitely the Most Wanted Intense, the all black one. And yeah, I do like my whiskey and my rums, so I definitely have to try that out. It's more dry woods and sweet vanilla and whiskey. And amber, some people say it reminds them of Ultra Male Elixir. Ultra Male Elixir. That's a bet. Yeah, I'll definitely get my nose on that. I like vanilla, woods, and whiskey scents. Definitely sounds up my alley. So I'll definitely give a first impressions on that. The Carbon, the EDP Black. Okay, word. Yeah, so I actually have... the Carbon right here. Okay. I think I actually saw a first impressions on the EDP. And I think I was busy because, to be honest, I remember like hearing it through my headphones, but I don't recall actually paying attention to it. So I'm afraid that it's one, and I've heard similar like this one, right? This is the Coach, the EDP as well. And this one went the like Dior Sauvage Elixir sort of route, a buttload of geranium. Better than the Dior Sauvage Elixir in my opinion, and scent profile very similar, but more mass appealing, you know, less spices than the Dior Sauvage Elixir, not as strong though. And I heard the same with the EDP, that is going more on the Dior Sauvage Elixir because of the licorice, the licorice note in there. But this is the product Carbon, the EDT, definitely a great fragrance, smells like Dior Sauvage, but better in my opinion. They actually reformulated this one, so you can't get the original anymore, so I actually have to get my hands on at least one or two more of the original ones, just in case. Yes, sir. Honestly, no idea what he wears besides Nautica Voyage. Okay. That's what I'm assuming, bro. Nautica Voyage. That's why I want to give him something. Also, is Mercedes Black up there for date night? Absolutely. Absolutely not going to lie to you. Absolutely not going to lie to you in the sense that I have not smelt Mercedes Black. I do think that, and I have smelled some Mercedes fragrances. They're usually pretty good quality, and it's crazy because the Mercedes, the black, right? That's actually like their most popular fragrance. Great vanilla fragrance. So if you're a fan of vanilla, which is great for date night fragrances, brings a lot of sensuality in there. Definitely a note that a lot of women and a lot of people find, you know, sexy and mass appealing. So definitely want to try before you buy, for sure. For sure, for sure. Now, if your pops wears Nautica Voyage, right, or that's the only one that you know, that means, you know, like you said, fresh, clean. That one has like mintiness. The Nautica Voyage has a lot of violet leaf that I remember. I remember actually buying it, and I gave it to one of my friends. I believe he actually just ran out of it. And it's good, but it is a little outdated, and I get you. So if he does like that, it's a little bit more on the subtle vibes. So I think that if he likes that, if your dad has Nautica Voyage and you give him this, I think he'll be like, son, proud of you, son. I think that's what he is. I think you might get an early birthday present. I think you might get an early Christmas present. Yeah, this one's gas. Here, let me show you real quick. Let me show you real quick. Let me show you. Fragrance Familia in the building. What's up, y'all? What is up? How y'all feeling today? What was your scent of the day? We talking about sexy fragrances to wear for spring 2026. Man, I love it when I come up with the fragrances off the top. I'm like, I'm gonna talk about these today. And then you guys ask all these great questions, and I'm like, bro, this one. And it also has to do with the topic, so it all just worked. Hump day! Yes, sir. Warm, spicy citrus, fresh, spicy, ozonic, aquatic, aromatic, woody, cinnamon, powdery, amber. This bottle looks a little cheesy, but gives you a little classy vibes, right? Simplistic but a little classy. Yeah, bro. For those of you guys who don't care about performance, you just care about smell, this is a little bit more on the synthetic side, but it's perfect. If your dad likes Nautica Voyage, this I think would be an upgrade. I think this would be more date night, more classy than Nautica Voyage, right? Nautica Voyage is a little bit more like more playful, right? Look at this, 4.25. Shh. Woody spicy. Woody spicy, other than woody aromatic, are like my two like genre type, like probably like more favorite type of fragrances. An energetic, sensual, very masculine fragrance. Cheek ferment unifies elegant and eternally masculine woody notes and spicy freshness. This sophisticated fragrance is made for the intelligent, emotional, and elegant man. If we're describing your dad, what's up? Who possesses great taste and likes luxury. The top notes has a fresh water and juices brought by citruses, Sicilian bergamot, ice cold lemon, Italian mandarin, and a fresh melon. The middle is warm and gentle spicy with the notes of cinnamon and black pepper. Eastern mysterious and sensuality are felt in the base notes with sandalwood, cedar, ambergris, musk, and tonka bead. Boy, here are another one right here. Carlos Benaim. Remember that name. This guy is gas. He is one of my favorite perfumers as well. If I see him on there, on any fragrance that I'm looking up or I'm curious about, and I see him in there, that one's going on the it's going up on the list. It's going up there. Just like Alberto Morillas is going up there. You might like Quentin Biche, the guy who made all the JPG Le Mans. You know, he might be up there in your list if you see him. Carlos Benaim, he's that guy for me. He knows how to make good scents, sexy scents, and that's what I like. Watermelon, cardamom, lemon, mandarin, orange, pepper, cinnamon, sandalwood, tonka bean, musk, amber, cedar. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just really quickly, because with y'all, I don't like to BS nothing with you guys. I like to be as transparent as possible. So I like to show you guys the process on how I do things, on how I review, right? Look, so you can see here, It's moderate. You know, the intimate, the strong is about the same. Personally, in my opinion, when I've had other friends and people wear this, they say that they like it, but it's just not strong. So that's why I say this is good for the subtle, right? I think it'd be perfect for that, for what you're saying that you might want to get for your pops. Another good one, if your dad rocks Nautica Voyage, YSL Loan, bro, up there, bro, up there, bro. Not gonna lie, this one smells amazing. Cheap, good performance, and totally office safe. Decent performance other than good performance. Maybe after you have it like me, after like a year or so, then yeah, maybe starts getting like up into the 6 mark, 7 mark if you're lucky. I think it smells great. In the beginning, it might smell a little synthetic. Give it like 30 seconds for all those notes to settle down, but once they do, in there like swimwear. My most complimented fragrance, 10 out of 10. On my 4th or 5th bottle, this is my signature scent, but I can't smell it anymore. I've worn it so much that I got blindness to it now. I haven't worn it in months, and just to be able to smell it again, it's clean and casual and not heavy at all. Even though it's spicy, it's an eau de toilette after all. It is indeed nothing special, but for me, it's comforting and cozy, and it does the job well. It gets me in a good mood. It's an easy grab, not offensive, perfect balance of citrus, wood, spice, fruit, aquatic for casual wear. Indeed. Indeed.com. Never thought about it until my wife told me one day that this smells just like the flea medication that you put on the back of your pet's neck. That's crazy. Not saying this is a really bad fragrance, but ever since she said that, it's all I can think about when smelling this. It might be like those spicy, some synthetic vibes in that lemon. It never fails. But there you go. You heard a few good comments and, you know, one negative one. So try before you buy, but, you know, definitely one that I would recommend. Have you seen the new Frostbite from Aromatics, my boy? Yes, I have. So I just dropped a video, I think yesterday, about this fragrance. Frostbite. And I like his packaging. Oh shit. That was almost a fail. But I like the packaging that he does here. You know, it opens up like that and you can kind of fold it, and the aromatics thing is right there. So, you know, it's kind of cool. You know, little details that you may or may not really care about. But yeah, I did a little full breakdown. I had my first wear where I showed it. I did it on live, and then I cut it down and I put it on my YouTube. But it pretty much talks about my first time wearing this. I went through the notes, just kind of how we're doing here on Fragrantica, and going through some of the reviews. So check that out if you want. But this fragrance, bro, not bad. My girl gave it an 8. And on this channel, 8 is great. 8 is great. My girl doesn't get 8 often, which is crazy because this month I think she's given at least 2 to 3 8s. One of them being Paco Rabanne's Parfum, the all black robot bottle. She gave like an 8.5. She's given this one an 8. And I think she gave this one like an 8.5. Okay. And those are the 3. Out of most of the things that she smelled in my collection, which she smelled quite a bit, you know, I annoy her a lot, so she doesn't even know what's going on. But great fragrance, guys. I said in the video that this, to me, smells like Gisada Ambassador. I think I may have compared it to Gisada Ambassador. I got a little sample over there that I still had. Dior Sauvage with mango and blueberries. This is definitely one for 2026. I think it's going to be good. I think a lot of people are going to be rocking it. I will be rocking it. Shouldn't be gate kept. But yeah, If you're not really big into mango, if mango is not really your type of fruit, if you don't really like those tropical vibes, but you know, I would say more for summertime. This is definitely going to be more of a banger than for spring. Nonetheless, though, this is a great, just like Versace Dylan Blue. This is good for anytime, anywhere. I even think that this is better than the Versace. The Versace has a nice like sensual musk in there. Ooh, man, I love fragrances. This is hard. But you know, you can't go wrong with Dior Sauvage with some mango and some blueberries, bro. But yeah, we got that bad Larry. I also got the magnetic. Those are the two from him that I was definitely curious about. That to me, when I did my research and I looked at the notes, that really captivated me. And I don't want to buy something just because somebody says something. You know what I mean? I like to do my own research because I learn. And at least when I buy something, that it is along with notes and vibes that I like, just so I'm not too upset and it's not a blind buy fail. But yes, sir. Frostbite, the master behind Creed, made it. Oh, are you saying the master behind Creed? Oh, that's right. That's right. Made Frostbite, right? He did say that. He did say that. I think his name was, is it Oliver? Huh? That was weird. Did I spell something wrong there? Oh, John Christophe. That's right. My bad. That was his name. John Christophe. That's right. Let me see. Cause he did good, fam. He did good, fam. And don't forget, supposedly he told us too. He said Dior Sauvage, that scent profile, was inspired from this Creed Aventus scent profile. So when you put those things together, right, it makes a lot of sense. But now I'm curious. I'm like, nah, it can't be. Yeah, different perfumer here. But this is, to me, a lot what it smells like. You know, you got mango, you got lavender. I think he has pink pepper in his instead of black pepper, cardamom and stuff. But look at these notes really quick. Fruity, tropical, sweet, woody, vanilla, warm, spicy. And then let's look at Frostbite. But yeah, good fragrance. Definitely want to try. Definitely hit me up if you guys want to sample instead of buying the whole thing. But, you know, if you like things like Creed Aventus, Dior Sauvage, you like mango and blueberry, signs nice, fruity type of tropical vibes that you wouldn't mind, then one's good. When I first sprayed it, when I first got it, just give it a day. Give it a week, maybe even less than that, man. These guys, French Audio and Aromatics, they're doing their thing, man. They're doing their thing. No kizzy. Real, recognized, real. You guys got to put a respect where respect is deserved. Is there a new Dolce & Gabbana K elixir? I heard there is an elixir version out there. I think I may have heard something like that. Unfortunately, the Dolce & Gabbana K line doesn't really move my monkey like that. It reminds me... No, there was another fragrance out there. It was the Bad Boy Cobalt Elixir. That's what it was. That one reminded me of one of the Dolce & Gabbana Ks. And I'm not sure if it was the chili pepper or something, but there was something in there. I think it was like the blood mandarin or something in there that just, it wasn't horrible, right? It wasn't terrible, but it just wasn't really calling to me. It wasn't really attracting me like that. So, you know, unfortunately, the Dolce & Gabbana's K's, I'm not too excited for. Now the Dolce & Gabbana just came out with the new one, the new one Parfum. I got a whole bunch of amber supposedly in it. I'm excited about that one. And they reformulated the OG, the EDP, which I need to get me another bottle of the original EDP. But I also want to smell the new one and see, you know, if it competes. Tell your dad too to try the new Bleu de Chanel L'Exclusive. Yes, sir. I heard that one's good. Bleu de Chanel, you can't go wrong with at all. Absolutely, Bleu de Chanel's up there. You can even go with the Parfum. Still sophisticated as well. It's a little bit on the pricier side, but totally worth it. Absolutely. Or David Beckham's Botanical Resin and Classic Blue. Unfortunately not, bro. Unfortunately not. Let's see, Botanical Resin. You know, shout out to David Beckham. Any David Beckham fans out there? If you guys try the Botanical Resin, let us know. Okay. Okay, these notes kind of intrigue me. Woody, aromatic, warm, spicy, fresh, spicy, citrus, fresh, a little vanilla, a little sweet, a little amber, and a little balsamic. Okay. 3.73 out of 5 with only 45 votes. Seems like a great versatile all around, all year round type of fragrance. Oriental spicy, okay, I don't know, but you know, Oriental vibes are booming it out here, man. Look, you trying to smell like one of the sexiest men out here? Oh shit! Oh no, is this giving me Nishani Ani vibes? Okay, I don't see any of that. But it looked off of first impressions like Nishane Annie because the lemon, the cardamom, the pink pepper, the ginger, the sandalwood, the patchouli, the vanilla. No. I'm getting a lot of Nishani Ani, but you know, obviously it could be something completely different. They definitely got some cypress to make it different, some fir, and some cinnamon leaf. I haven't heard of that one. You hear about cinnamon? A warm spice, very popular with the strong with you intensely. But when have you guys heard of cinnamon leaf? When have you heard of the cinnamon leaf? Well, that's cool, man. Hey, shout out to Best Smelling out here, giving us a lot of fragrance game, y'all. A lot of fragrance game, bro. Appreciate you for sure. You know, just for the David Beckham fans out there, let's try the classic blue. Okay, fruity, ozonic, aromatic, woody, aquatic, sweet, fresh, spicy. I feel like this is gonna be on the pricier side for what it's actually worth, but these notes are calling me, and they definitely sound interesting. 3.74, not the best, but not the worst. Oh, would you look at that? And I recognize that profile pic. So two bad boys. The guy that made Creative Ventus. The guy that helped make this Frostbite 2026 new Middle Eastern banger. And we got this other guy over here, which can't remember any off the top of my head, but I definitely remember that. So Real recognized Real. And he looked like, you know, he takes good care of himself. So these are things that I look for. Okay, 2013. What else violet leaf, pineapple, grapefruit, apple, clary sage, geranium. There we go again. Cashmere wood, moss, patchouli. Nice. Great, bro. Appreciate that. Okay, we got what Middle Eastern fragrance for a school daily fragrance would you recommend date night as well? I currently have Hawa's Ice for daily and Lutfa by Arabia Prestige for date night right now. Word. Great fragrance. off the rip, Middle Eastern fragrances for school / daily, also for date night. So a Middle Eastern fragrance that's pretty much versatile for daily wear, school, office, or for those date night occasions. Okay, cool. Hawas Ice is definitely going to be a good one. Let me just take a quick look of the other one that you talked about because I'm not familiar with that one. The Lutfa by Arabiat Prestige. You know which one it is? Is it the First Love, the Light in the Heart, or the Seventh Heaven? Other than that, Middle Eastern fragrance that would be good for school, daily fragrance, and date night. Best smelling, we just talked about it earlier, right? We just talked about the YSL Y Myself. A fragrance that has become very popular. Nowadays, it's almost become like the new Dior Sauvage. Great, perfect for those white tees, casual wears. You can wear this for school. You can wear this, it's casual, but it's got like, just the right amount of class in there. You know what I mean? 4 to 6 hour performer, cheap. I forgot how much we saw that it was. It was sold out. That's the problem with this, that it stays selling out over here. So, it's got to be good. Definitely a good bang for its buck, right? I want to say like 20 bucks, 30, something like that. I think that's what I got it for. So, perfect for school, daily. The YSL myself is also sexy. A lot of women compliment getting fragrance out here. Fresh, clean, and sweet, baby. Can't go wrong with that. Yeah, absolutely banger. That's one, right? That's an easy one that I have right here in front of me. Another one that I also have in front of me that I do like is this, Parfum. And I'm giving you some cheapies right now, bro. I could probably give you a whole lot of right now. But let me give you some quick ones right now. Parfum. This, if you can't tell, you said, hold on now. We'll circle back if you let us know the name of which one that Lufta was. But yeah, really quick, the Parfum. If you can't see what this is gonna be Maison Alhambra's take on 4.17. You see it. Is gonna be similar to YSL Y Le Parfum. And Brody, if you know, if you don't, you don't know. You know why EDP is supposed to be one of the best men's sold fragrance out here. Definitely classic. Can't go wrong with one that's gonna definitely be down the line, up there with Bleu de Chanel for sure, dude. Really good fragrance, modern fragrance. And the black one, which I do own the original as well. Like it so much, discontinued it. But this one is great. Perfect for casual wear, for school. It's got enough sexiness in here to make the honeys go, hey, you smell good. But if you look at the reviews and whatnot, if you look at these notes, the only issue that some people may have is that it might be a little too boring. But you got some nice fruitiness from the apple, fresh spicy from the ginger, clean laundry vibes from the aldehydes, lavender, geranium. Bro, yeah. Easy, bro. And this is another cheapie, bro. This is like 20 bucks. I think I got this one actually at the TikTok shop like a year ago, bro. Like 20. I think I actually went up. It might be like 25, 30. But even for that, just because it's discontinued, I'm cool with that. Okay? But we'll circle back and we can talk about some more if you want. But those are two off the rip. That for sure. I'll say now, compared to Hawas Ice, these are definitely not going to be as performing and as loud as Hawas Ice. Hawas, they make some beast fragrances. Them hoes be... I had the original that I gifted a friend and he loves it. He said he gets a lot of compliments. Every time he wears it, I always get like a scent bubble from him. I don't know if he sprays it right before he comes or whatnot, but yeah, that's that. So I know the hot was ice too. You know, more mintier, more fresher. You know, right there. So yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Try out the Seasons Drift and Freeze. It's great. I'm gonna have to check that out. I've heard of the Seasons Drift. I haven't really heard anything that really convinces me that I'm gonna be really happy buying it, but it does have my curiosity peaked. And Freeze as well. I think that one was it an Imagination, dude? Something like that. I don't remember. But yeah. But yeah. Another one that I just got. Oh, dude, if we're talking about Middle Eastern, school daily, date night. Oh yeah, boom. We just talked about this. Frostbite. Yeah. Dior Sauvage with mango and blueberries. And I like this one even better, a little bit better. This is YSL Myself, Luna Rosa Ocean, and Reflection Man. So you got designers and a little bit of niche in here. Aromatics Magnetic. That one's great. I like that one a little bit more than Frostbite, but they're like neck and neck, bro. They're both up there. I'm glad with both of those buys, and I'm glad that I'm doing my research. I'm showing you guys as well, because this is a learning community right here, and I don't want anybody to spend their hard-earned money or even come over here on live and see me and be like, bro, I hear you, bro, but you count. Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. None of that. How long do you get it with it, bro? The Frostbite. What's it inspired by, bro? Well, let me know if you have any more questions. Best smelling. I think I said Dior Sauvage with mango and blueberries. A lot of blueberries for sure. You get like this nice little fruity vibe, little bubble gumminess. You know, throughout the whole fragrance, you definitely get some of that mango tropicalness instead of pineapple. So instead of pineapple, think mango. Still taking you to the tropics though. Dior Sauvage backbone, right? But you get a lot of those Jasada Ambassador elements as well. And if you haven't smelled Jasada Ambassador, think like a slightly more sweet, creamy, sexier version of like Dior Sauvage. Great fragrance. How long do I get with it? I think my first time. No. I remember my when I said it on my live on my first time wearing it. I did I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I had Armani Code Parfum the day before, and I remember saying on my live that I could barely, but I could still smell it on my clothes a little bit. The Frostbite, I didn't have to bury my nose in my clothes as much. So I said that it was a little bit stronger than the Armani Code Parfum. So there's that. For Middle Eastern, I mean, you can't get, it don't really get any better than that. Keeps up longevity, and the quality is almost up there with designers for sure, right? For only like $50, slightly less than 50, maybe 45 or something like that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Light in the heart, bet. Say less. So we talked about Lutfa, right? So we're gonna go Lutfa, light in the heart. And Arabia Prestige has been actually pretty cool. It seems like they're like a new Middle Eastern house that has been taking over some of the game. I actually have their, because the aromatics actually convinced me of getting it. It was the... I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look for it. But it was good. Strong, right? Their concentrations are deep. Their longevity is strong. Their projection is strong. I think they're like extrait de parfums. And their quality is good. At least the one that I have was good for sure off rip. So Arabia Prestige might be one of those ones. Vanilla, cinnamon, amber, warm, spicy, musky, wood, powdery, aromatic, citrus, and balsamic. This gives me liquid brun. Liquid brun vibes just by looking at the notes. 4.36 out of 70 votes out of 5. It's pretty straight. Oh, it's a new one. Cinnamon, bergamot, giag wood, LME, vanilla, and ambroxan. Yep, I think it is what I think it is. Yep, and it's an Altair clone. Cool. So one thing I will say about Arabia Prestige is that their quality is pretty good and they're very strong fragrances. And I think they actually have pressurized atomizers. Yep. So those three, that's cool if that's your thing. Something to check out for sure. I definitely love pressurized atomizers. Those are definitely, they're very appealing to see. Just, you know what I mean? Dua brand does a really good job of that. But I wanted to show, but let me not leave really quick. I do have the French Avenue, the Liquid Brun. So if you guys like Altair, or you guys want to get a niche, expensive fragrance for the low, definitely want to check out for sure. I like the David Beckham Exquisite Leather. I like it much more better than the Azara Most Wanted Elixir. Say less. I can see that the Azara Most Wanted Elixir. Does anybody like that? Keep honest. It's all love, no matter what, for sure. But I just had to stop the camera real quick. But you know, Azara the Most Wanted Elixir for me. You know, when I want to buy a fragrance, I want to enjoy it from the beginning all the way to the end, and that's just my humble opinion, right? I want to be able to be captivated as soon as I smell it. I want to be able to put my nose on my wrist anywhere and not be, you know, taken away or pulled away. I want more. You know what I mean? So Azara was not giving me that, at least with the elixir. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Have you seen the new David Beckham 20th anniversary edition? Unfortunately, I have not, Brody. Unfortunately, I have not. But I'm going to have to check that out for sure. Can you look up Dunhill Extreme Desire on Fragrantica? Yeah, bro. Shout out to... sorry if I say your name wrong, but... Matharabi 1? Shout out to you, homie. Shout out to the Brody over here. He wants us to look up Dunhill Extreme Desire. And we can talk about that real quick. Dunhill shit. Extreme Desire Extreme. Yeah. Shout out to the Fragrance Familia. What is up? Let us know your scent of the day. Any questions that you guys have, definitely let us know in the chat and we will check it out. Right now we had our Brody. He asked about look up Dunhill Extreme Desire Extreme by Dunhill on Fragrantica. And let me go ahead and give my 2 cents on this fragrance. Dunhill. Now, Dunhill is a fragrance house that have heard a few things about. I have not heard about this Desire, right? This doesn't look familiar at all, but I'm seeing London, so that's good. Good perfumery. Dunhill has definitely seemed like they might be underrated house. I can't think of anything in my head, but I think it's Dunhill Icon. That's what it is. That's the one that I've heard a lot. So maybe one worth checking out. We got some citruses, some leathers, some aromatics, some warm spicy, some woody, some fresh spicy, some animalic, some metallic, patchouli, and earthy vibes. Alrighty. Well, off the rip, I'm not getting anything really close, you know, that it may be imitating. But off the rip, smelling better. Let me know if I'm wrong, Brody. But I want to say, because we looked Boss Bottle Beyond, I know they had a lot of leather. I know they had some citrus, some aromatic, you know, some fresh spice, animalic. Okay. 3.93 out of 5 with only 260 votes. So not a lot, but out of all the votes, it seems like most people, you know, kind of like it. Okay, definitely for the fall and winter time. Excuse me. So it doesn't seem like like a summertime, right? Definitely more for those cooler weather. So this might be one for those transitional seasons because it has a lot of leather, right? I don't see any perfumer. And here are the notes. We got blood orange, saffron, bergamot, cypress, clary sage, leather, patchouli, amber, and vetiver. Bro, if you have any questions, please let us know. Or if you're just interested in what I gotta say on just what I look, you know, I'll be more than happy to say my 2 cents. Dunhill is extremely underrated. Well, there you go. Shout out to you, Brody. We have Muthrabi and we have Best Smelling. 2 guys that came out here today, so shout out to everybody who's been in here. You know, these guys have been giving us some game today. You know, Dunhill, like I said, has been a brand, Dunhill icon I've heard about. I feel like there might be like another 1 or 2, but I can't remember off the top, right? And it seems like they may definitely be an underrated house, and we just got the confirmation right here. This Desire Extreme lasts really long. I'll tell you what. I want to be as good as that so my girl can say that type shit, right? So she can be like, hey baby, like Desire Extreme, you last really long. Anyways, that's cool. Desire Extreme. So we talked about blood orange, some saffron. We got some bergamonte, some cypress, some clary sage. So a lot of aromatics right there. Some herbs, some leather, some patchouli, some amber, and some vetiver. Bro, from a scale 1 to 10, what do you give this fragrance? We just saw Fragrantica give it a 3.9, right under a 4 out of 5. We want to know what you think. Let us know what you think. You talked about this fragrance. You mentioned it for a reason. Let us know. Is it one that is really worth us checking out? And if you can, in the shortest amount of words, how can you describe this fragrance? Is it sweet, citrusy, leather, masculine? What sort of vibes do you get from this? Saffron can be cool when done right. Blood orange, me in particular, and this is me in particular, I'm still trying to figure out. We talked about the Dolce Gabbana K earlier. I mentioned how I wasn't a big fan because me personally, I wasn't sure if it was the spiciness. I think it was the red chili pepper in that one that was throwing it off, or I wasn't sure if it was the blood orange. I think it was the chili pepper. But because of that association, you know, me and blood orange, I'd be a little cautious about it. But everything else checks out for me. I'm cool with everything else. So this definitely seems like one I might have to check out. Lasts really long. Underrated. Smells good. What more do you need? Let's look at some quick. Oh, look. Dunhill Icon, Egyptian Smoke I've heard of. Agar Wood. I think a little bit of this one. Yeah. Moderate. Okay, so definitely more on the stronger side for sure. Longer lasting. Cool. Awesome sauce. If you love fragrances, this if you love fragrances, this is a worthy buy. Okay, cool. Sold. Sold. That's actually kind of funny. I love that. If you love fragrances, this is a worthy buy. So, if you love fragrances, when is it not a worthy buy? That'd be my question. But hey, I'm cool with that, bro. Just because of that, I'm gonna definitely sample this for sure. We got to edit after trying this 3 times from a decant. That's the do it, guys. That's the trick, man. Thank you, Sniffer65. Keep telling y'all, try before you buy, try before you deny. Always get the 1 ml sample. If you run that beach up, you really like it, you wear it one time, 3 sprays, you're just trying to get a little vibe, a little feel from it, and you like it so much, you're like, nah, bro, I gotta wear that again, and you're like, 5 sprays this time, okay. Then, you know, and you run it up again. From there, I would go with the 5 ml. And based on that 5 ml, you can boost up to the 10, right? And based how long you, like, if you have that 5 ml for 6 months to a year, do you really need to buy the full bottle? Maybe not. But if you're like Sniffer65 and you're like, after trying this 3 times from a decant, I bought a bottle, that's justified for sure. You definitely like the fragrance at that point. I've tried it 3 more times over a 9-month period, and it is like a different fragrance. Boom. That's why you gotta try it before you. It has no base notes, no leather or patchouli, and while it has a nice fruity, spicy opening that fades without being replaced by anything special. And there's an element that hits me with a bit scratchy / synthetic. I don't know if this is a reformulation, if my decant was mislabeled or something else, but it isn't doing it for me anymore. JLD87 below makes a good point. This is not for the younger crowd. The Abercrombie and Fitch guys are guys who have 3 or fewer fragrances that they rotate through daily. The regular Desire Red with its sweetness, orange blossom, and vanilla is more of what you want. Beautiful. Okay, I like this guy. I'm going to read this last guy, and then I'll leave it there for this one. But this dude's cool. Every time I see him on Fragrantica, I like him. I like the way how he formats his reviews, his comments, and he takes you on a little journey. Number 806 in my Tour de Fragrance. Well, this one certainly draws some mixed reactions. Apparently, if you hate this, you really hate it. If you like it, you really like it. It's kind of most fragrances when you really think about it. There's nothing radically different about this scent to draw such passion either way. I think it's a matter of style. This is a classic masculine scent, and if you are part of the Versace eras before every night, club night generation, this is probably not for you. See, I like this guy. But for me, if you buy EDTs at all, this is the first and only Dunhill EDT I would consider owning. What do you mean by that? I think he's trying to say maybe that for an EDT is like strong or deep for an EDT, right? Because EDTs are usually lighter. I've given away bottles of Desire Red, Desire Blue edition, all scents that are nice for about 20 minutes. Damn. Abysmal performance that might have been acceptable 30 years ago. Damn, but not today. I've given away some of the EDPs as well. Icon, Racing Red, Elite. Damn. All poor performers despite being sold as EDPs. But dang, this guy might. Yeah, I think if I recall, he do go kind of a little hot. But last year I reluctantly gave the new signature line a try and found the only scent in the line not worth having was Valenzo Lavender, which smelled like cheap laundry detergent. Okay? Said he gave the new signature line a try, and the only one he did not find worth having was the cheap laundry detergent smelling one. Cool. All the others are first-rate scents that draw positive notice and perform well, and I'm glad to own them and wear them. Bet. I see the signature line as something of a resonance for the classic Dunhill brand. Cool. Desire Red Extreme is not part of that renaissance. But it is a solid scent. It is not in any way similar to the original, but makes more of a masculine impression. No vanilla, green apple, and rose. Instead, we have sage, saffron, and leather. Yee, that's a big difference. To go from vanilla, green apple, and rose to sage, saffron, and leather. Okay. It's really not a flinker at all. Projection is not quite arm's length. Skin scents last till lunch. Carpool, elevator, and small office safe. Solid business wear, casual wear, and very fair price, but I do find myself wishing Dunhill had done this as an EDP, as I certainly prefer the scent to Racing Red, but if it were available in an EDP potency, it would absolutely be a bottle buy for me. Kill. Kill, 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 kill. There's a lot of talking for me, guys. I'm probably gonna have to wrap it up here shortly, but man, I love the energy. I love the comments. I love the interaction we're having here, guys. Shout out to y'all, man, for sure, man. Big shout out to you guys. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. It's definitely. I really like it, man. It's definitely a 9 for me. Okay, cool. We're talking about 9 for me is this one. If you don't mind, bro, really quick, what makes it a 9 for you, right? Do you like the citrus in here? Do you like because it's like, you know, masculine, clean, citrusy? What makes it a 9 for you? Because 9 is a good number. 9 is fine. You know, 9 is mega fine. So I'm really curious, but definitely one to check out, guys. Right here, the Dunhill Desire Extreme. Beautiful knowledge. Davidoff Cool Elixir is a nice one too, and Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue EDT, the new version. Oh snap, I didn't even know that they had a new version. I definitely have the Intense that I'll be wearing for summer when I go to Miami or some of those beach vibes perhaps. But you already know, nothing too crazy. Classic, but you know, also kind of, it might need a little update. Davidoff Cool Elixir, I've been hearing. I definitely need to try that one. I'm trying to think if that's the oud one. But yeah, great stuff, y'all. Loving it. It's kind of on the sweeter side and comes out as a masculine fragrance. Beautiful. So it's masculine, but it's got a sweet side to it. That's cool. Because when I look at a lot of these notes and I look at these accords and stuff, yeah, I be thinking like, dang, it might be a little too masculine for me. So I appreciate that. Definitely one nonetheless that I will definitely be sampling. We're here, guys. Shout out to Best Smelling and with Robbie out here giving us some fragrance game, some stuff that I'm not even sure. There's so many fragrance out here. My homeboy was just talking about the David Beckham, which I completely forgot and whatnot. So many people out here. Fragrances are everywhere. There's so many. So many. So this is what we're here for, man. So we all can give some knowledge and let people know what's up. Really know what's up for the love of the game. Yes, sir. I wear this to school and everybody likes it. Alright, say less. Do the honeys like it? Or is it the teachers? John Varvatos' Black Rebel is underrated. That sounds kinda... Black Rebel. I think it's this one, Dark Rebel. Is it? Oh, it's not. Is it this one, Brody? Is this the one that you're talking about, Dark Rebel? Is this the one? John Varvatos is an interesting fragrance line. I remember one time I went to the Macy's and they had a rep out there pushing out this fragrance, and and she seemed a little too thirsty. It was a little off-putting, but what I will say is that John Varvatos definitely is an interesting brand. I definitely seen them a lot, especially like the Nick Jonas, the Jonas Brother versions. Over there, I like on the Marshalls, TJ Maxx and stuff like that. But I do remember one time I did smell one time in the mall. It looked like this one. I can't remember, but I do remember the red apple. There was red apple in there, and it smelled really good and sexy at the time when I smelled it. Woody, leather, sweet tobacco, aromatics, fresh spicy rum, warm spicy smoky animalic. This seems like it might be up my alleyway. 4.34 out of 5 with slightly less than 2,000. Oriental Woody. I don't know who this Rodrigo Flores Rokes is, but cool. I know their fragrances are pretty moderate. Rum, sugarcane, a lot of sweetness, cardamom sexiness, warm spicy, some herb. Probably soapiness going on there. Okay, a lot of leather. The hell? Castor Realm? That's interesting. Mexican vanilla? Hey, yo! Now that's unique. Now that's different. If y'all want different, when have you ever seen Mexican vanilla? Or hell is a castor arum? Shit look like a rodent, my boy. Like a porcupine or something. Hey, that's cool. I fucks with that. I really seem to like the leather and the sweetness along with it. It's definitely not a very complex scent, but a really mass pleasing scent. Awesome. That's great to know. I'm actually gonna go ahead and go ahead and jot that one. General Desire. Alrighty, man, bro. What an awesome stream this was, bro. Bless everybody who pulled up today. Shout out to Mathrabi and Best Smelling for giving us some fragrance knowledge today. Definitely letting us know some fragrances that I myself wasn't familiar. We were able to go over through some of these fragrances, really do a little bit of a deep dive, and see if maybe some of these fragrances move you, if it really attracted you. We went over a bunch of great fragrances over here. You know what I mean? Like aromatics. We talked about some spring bangers. We talked about a lot of, date night fragrances to wear for the spring this year. We talked about some versatile Middle Eastern fragrances to wear, perfect for date nights and for school and stuff like that. We also talked about, for dads out here, perfect gifts for dads that want something that smells clean but subtle at the same time. This Carolina Herrera Cheek for Men, if you haven't checked that one out. And yeah, it was lit. It was so lit that I didn't even finish to go over through all my stuff. But sadly, as all good things, they gotta come to an end. So unfortunately, guys, I'm gonna have to wrap it up here today. I want to thank everybody again for participating, for saying their few words. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you guys like this type of content. I will definitely try to be here as much as possible, especially during the week. You'll most likely catch me here anytime from 7 p.m. up until 10. I think I went a little past up until 11, but this is usually going to be around the time frame, especially around 8. I'm trying to build a really consistent schedule for you guys. And let's get this learning community, let's get this fragrance community, this Fragrance Familia, let's get it turned. Let's get it up and running. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody out here who was able to make it. Man, let's get some honeys, y'all. Let's smell good and have these girls like, yes, sir. And that's gonna be it, y'all. Big shout out to y'all, gang, man. Fragrance Familia, it's your boy jonnyscentss here. Till the next live. Peace. Love y'all, man.